Hey up, sweethearts, I hope you're all well. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I had an idea that sprung up in my mind and I thought this would be pretty good. So why don't we read the Resident Evil archives together? So this is a biohazard archive, which is Umbrella's Virus Uncovered from the 1960 to 1998. So we are going to be starting from 0. So these are just short pages for the games and a little bit of short information, a bit of summary about the games. But anyway, let's get to it. The story. All stories have a beginning. The American disaster began with a single experiment on a common but highly disliked life form, the leech. By adding leech DNA to an original virus, one researcher created a new strain called the T virus. The leeches formed a symbiotic relationship with the virus, creating a parasite with incredible vitality. The mutated leeches multiplied over the many years since that experiment, and not a swarm of those frightened mutated leeches have begun to writhe in the deep forest again. Now that was taken from the diary of Rebecca Chambers, July 23rd, 1998. The beginning of a nightmare. When I think about it now, I can't help but think that we, the Stars, Raccoon City's Police Department Special Forces, Bravo team, were cursed from the beginning. That night our helicopter's engine suddenly malfunctioned and dropped us into the forest. The sound of trees being snapped, like horrible roaring. The attack, it feels like ages ago. What's the meaning of it all? We were only supposed to be there to investigate the Arkley Mountains and Raccoon Forest area. Who would have thought that we would become victims ourselves? There was one bright patch of sunshine amidst all the gloom. We had managed to survive the crash without a single member of Bravo team being hurt. Then we discovered traces of an escaped traitor within the forest. Lieutenant Billy Cohen, 26 years old, convicted on a court-martial, prisoner to be transferred to the Ragathon base for execution. In pursuit of the fugitive, I moved deeper into the forest and began to investigate a stopped train. That was the beginning of the nightmare. That train was headed to hell. Living dead passengers. Inside the train, suit-wearing passengers sat quietly in the lavish splendour of passenger cars furnished with ornate antique furniture. It was as if this mysterious world had been frozen in time. The passengers were silent. I am with the Raccoon City Police Stars Unit. Please respond. There was no answer from anyone. I expected that. All the passengers were dead. I started to feel faint, but it was no time to black out. Those deaths were the least of my troubles. But just then I heard the sound of something being dragged, and the dead passengers began to move. The living dead, zombies, images of the horror movies I had seen long ago ran through my mind. I pulled my pistol's trigger, shot down the living corpses, and ran into the next car. Had I opened the gate to hell? The train was filled with undead. All I could do was blast my way through them. Where was the rest of Bravo team? Did these zombies eat my friends? As if I didn't have enough to worry about. I met the man I had feared the most. He had a look on his face I could only describe as a carnivorous, and had a large tattoo etched into his arm. He had the scent of death about him, so characteristic of someone in the military. Lieutenant Billy Cohen? What a surprise, so you seem to know me. Those cold, calculating pupils. He was dangerous. I gathered all the strength I could muster and forced the words from my dry lips. Wait! You're under arrest! No thanks, dollface. I already worn handcuffs. A pair of handcuffs hung from his forearm, clear proof he was a fugitive. After looking towards me once more, he disappeared back into the zombie swarm train. Ooh. So that is part 1, guys, of Resident Evil 0 Archive.